Hello and welcome to Insomniac Productions, where we bring content to you in the late AM because we know you're still up. It's late, so I'm going to be a bit more quieter this episode, but we're bringing you another K-pop conversations episode, and today we're going to be doing more unpopular opinions because now I don't have loud typing in the background. So without wasting any time, let's jump into it. BAP deserves more fame than BTS. I don't think, well, I do agree BAP deserves a bit more attention. They deserve a bit more of an audience. I don't think that you should sacrifice someone else's fame for that. BTS worked hard to get where they're at too, and I don't think you should, out of spite of them, give someone else more fame. I think that's a wrong way to go about it. In an ideal world, everybody would have the same level of fame that you love, but it's just, that's how it is sometimes. Unfortunately, for the people who are fans of BAP, BTS got more fame and more recognition than BAP, and that's just how it goes sometimes. Dating bans are a great idea. Idols are a product where the dating bans would add legitimacy and value to the product. I heavily disagree with this statement. That is ridiculous. I do think that if you talk to an idol and say, hey, by the way, you probably shouldn't date because think of your image and think of the people around you and whatnot, I think that that would be a better way to go about it. But to say that idols are a product, no human being is a product. No human being is owned by anyone and should not be owned by anyone. And so that ideology is something that I heavily disagree with. And yeah, no, I think you're wrong. Twice is the least talented K-pop group probably ever. I think that they have good talent, but I think it's misguided. When they do a lot of the same love type songs where it's like, I want the boy to like me, oh, he likes me, does he like me? When they do songs like this all the time throughout their entire discography, it's really hard to enjoy their music because they're not branching out. They're not doing anything experimental. They're not doing anything new, and they're just doing the same sort of stuff. And while you can use that to maintain a certain level of popularity, it doesn't really give people a good feeling when you see them repeating a lot of the same ideas in their music. I think you're onto something in the sense of talent being something else. Maybe their repetitiveness is something you're actually targeting here, but they have good singers. They have a couple of definitely really good singers. They have a couple of good rappers, good dancers. They have talent, but it's just misplaced, misguided. And I think that if you point it in the right direction, it's going to be a lot better. Luna isn't going to make it. Too big of a group and not producing good enough hits will stop them from doing well. This is one that I'm concerned about. I agree with you on this. I think that they might not make it, and part of the reason is when you have a 12-member group, it makes it insanely hard to reach high peaks of popularity. On top of that, they have a lot of interesting sounding songs that might not fit into the massively popular big hits that you see from groups that are really popular, like Blackpink or BTS. But still, I have hope that they'll do good, and I hope that one way to achieve better success is by using their subunits. If you create good music with the subunits, you're going to draw on people to those subunits, and then you say, here's how they sound together. You're going to get more people looking at the whole group, and those subunits themselves could also actually pull their own weight. So I think that's a way to go about it. Sistar will never get the praise they deserve. I agree with this one. Unfortunately, now that they've disbanded, it's pretty clear that they might not ever receive recognition for it. And while I'm not the biggest fan of Sistar, I only liked a couple of songs of theirs, I do see a lot of the good that they've had in their songs, and it's just unfortunate that they never quite reached the level that they probably could have. The top groups are overrated. New listeners should search for other music, not just follow the big groups. Okay, I'm going to touch on the overrated one because I mentioned this in the other video, but I am going to talk about new listeners needing to search for other music. I agree that they should search for other music. That's how I listen to a lot of new artists. That's how I found Rad Museum. That's how I found Hayes, Dean. There are certain artists. Hugo is another, is a band, Green band. I found them through just going off on my own and finding different groups. I think Off On Off, I think that's the name of the group. That's another R&B singer band I think I found just through looking around. I think that you're right, people should go out and search for more. As far as overrated, I really want to touch on this because it's something that really annoys me. Calling a group overrated, or calling a song overrated, or calling an album overrated is one of the most, if not the most, empty and annoying arguments you could ever have to dislike or say that something is bad. Just because a lot of people give it praise or because a lot of people like it does not mean it's bad. My point is that a group being massively popular shouldn't be a reason to hate them. If you hate the group, it's not because they're popular, because if that is your reason for hating them, you have really shitty reasoning for hating something. The reason that you don't like the group is because you don't like their songs. It's a personal opinion. You don't like the song. Don't say a group's overrated anymore. I hate that argument. Just say you don't like their music. That's all you have to do. Stop using this empty overrated argument as a way to sort of justify disliking a group. Just dislike the group. It's fine. You're okay. You don't have to like everyone's music. The larger the group, the harder it is to enjoy them. No group should be more than 6 members, as it waters down and makes the music hard to listen to. I agree wholeheartedly with this one. Of course, having larger groups, it's interesting to see how they balance this out, but the larger a group is, the harder it is to balance lines, the harder it is to really make sure that people get good line distribution. It's really difficult. And like Luna, as an example, being a massive 12-person group, it's going to be hard to see them have success unless they use their subunits appropriately. If you have more than 6 members, I don't see you really being insanely popular, and if you are, it's probably for the individual members, not for the group as a whole. That's unfortunate, but I do agree, the larger the group, the harder it is for me to enjoy their music. And that does it for this episode of Unpopular Opinions. Hopefully I got my point across well in a lot of ways. I have a couple of arguments that I can elaborate on in the comment section if people are curious about them, but otherwise, yeah, that does it for this video. If you have more unpopular opinions, leave them down below, or if you have popular opinions, leave them down below, and I will see if I agree or disagree with them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.